Shalom Akim, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash, double honors to the apostles, others great millstone, salute to sincere Akim out there of the hopeful elect. Okay, and Lord willing, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, we're going to go into the origins of Edom, all right, starting with the birth of Jacob and Esau, okay, because, you know, a lot of our people, they're still unfamiliar, of course, with nationality, who they are according to the Bible, right? You so-called blacks, Latinos, North American Indians, all right, who make up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, who came from the man Jacob, all right? And also you're unaware of who the enemy is, which is the so-called white man and his origins. You know, you got a lot of our people that believe that the so-called white man came from the big-headed scientist Yaakov, all right? Which is all bogus. You know, you got them 5%ers that push that madness. All right, and you got some of our people that call the white man the devil, but they don't understand. They don't even know the meaning of the word devil or why the so-called white man is the devil. Okay, but when you look into his origins, according to the Bible, because everyone's nationality goes back to these biblical figures. All right, the so-called white man, his nationality goes back to the nation of Edom. All right, which progenerated from the man Esau. Okay, and I'm going to read the birth of Jacob and Esau, which were fraternal twin brothers. So, you know, as far-fetched as it might seem to the unknowing, all right, to ignorant jakes out there, the so-called white man is actually your closest kin when it comes to the rest of these other nations. Even more so, a closer kin to you than the so-called Africans, all right? Because a lot of our people believe that they're Africans because they have dark skin and such, all right? But in all reality, the so-called white man is a closer kin to you so-called Negroes here in America than the actual Africans, all right? We're gonna read it out in the scriptures. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 20. It reads, "And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban, the Syrian." All right. Now Laban, the Syrian, the land of Syria is where he stayed at. All right. That's not his his nationality or his natural origin. Okay. He resided in Syria, okay, and that's why the scriptures refer to him as the Syrian, because he dwelt in the land of Syria. All right. It reads on to say, "And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord." Yeah, because this birth wasn't natural. All right. This birth wasn't natural. As I read on, it's going to tell you that the twins that were inside of her womb actually struggled with each other. They were basically fighting each other. They were two polar opposite spirits. All right, one spirit that was righteous and the other spirit was evil. Okay, all right, and you know, just like it says in the scriptures, darkness and light can't coincide with each other. Okay. The darkness can't comprehend the light. Same thing. Okay, you got these twin sons in Rebekah's womb, and they're polar opposites. All right, they're spiritually, biologically polar opposites. Okay, all right. It reads on to say, "And the Lord said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." All right, so the firstborn is going to actually serve the younger. Okay, so she got twins in the womb, and like I said, they're complete opposition to one another. All right, but note, it said the elder shall serve the younger, meaning the firstborn out of her twin sons, the firstborn is going to be a servant to the younger son, to the second born son. All right. Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Okay, so the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. All right. So Esau, when you look it up in the Hebrew, Ishashwa, means wasted away is he. Okay, that's why he came out all red, because the so-called white man suffers from a plague known as leprosy in the Bible. All right, which is basically the lack of melanin or non-melanin in your skin. Okay, no skin pigmentation. The so-called white man has translucent skin. That's why when Isaac looked at him, he said, wasted away is he, saying his skin pigmentation is wasted away. All right. It reads on to say, another note. All right, can't forget the word red. Right, that's a key note, a key clue to understanding who the modern day Edomites are. All right, which is the same Edomites from back in Genesis 25th chapter. I'm just reading their origins right now. Okay, but let me read verse 25 again. It says, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Look at the so-called white man. That's why we call him so-called white. In all reality, he's red. Okay? You know, they have a pinkish tone, but when they get excited, that pink red, it turns into a deeper red. Okay? When they get excited, when they get angry, okay? You know, depending on their mood, all right? When they sit out in the sun too long, they turn red like a lobster. All right? So this is a key clue on who the Edomites are, man, or who the sons of Esau actually is. All right. So you know, the Bible is not a fairy tale, man. These are real people who actually lived and existed, and you know, everyone on earth today is a descendant from some biblical figure. All right. And the so-called white man descended from Esau. So verse 26, it says, and after that came his brother out, the second son. All right, the second son, Jacob, was the second born son of Isaac and Rebekah. Now remember, the scripture said the elder was going to serve the younger. So the firstborn son, which is Esau, who came out red, as described as described in the scriptures, okay, was the elder son that's going to be a servant unto the second born son, which we're reading about right now. Verse 26, and after that came his brother out. Okay, after what? After Esau was born, his brother Jacob came out. It says, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. Jacob's hand took hold on Esau's heel when they were born, you know, which is basically symbolic to what? Because everything is spiritual at the end of the day, okay? But it's symbolic to Jacob, the sons of Jacob, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians, because Jacob's name was changed to Israel, all right? But this is all symbolic to Jacob pulling Esau down, okay? In the future to come, according to future prophecy, okay? And his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, which means supplanter. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. So Isaac was 60 years old when Rebekah gave birth to Jacob and Esau. It says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. All right? Yeah, so Esau was a cunning hunter, and he was a man of the field. Now, these are some of the characteristics that describe you so-called white people. Okay? You're definitely men of the field, man. You love to go hunting big game. You know, you're going trips to Africa to hunt the big wild game. You know, lions, elephants, rhinoceroses, and such. Okay, you Edomites, you so-called white people, you love to go camping out in the woods. All right, you love to go rock climbing. Okay, you enjoy the great outdoors, man. All right, you enjoy the great outdoors. Okay, and it says he was a cunning hunter. All right, you know, when you read in Genesis when you read in Genesis, what is it, the 10th chapter, I believe, or the 11th chapter, when it talks about Nimrod being a mighty hunter, okay, that means that what? Nimrod was basically, he was a mighty leader amongst the people, okay? He oppressed the people, all right? He was a mighty hunter, meaning he was hunting souls, gathering all of the souls of the people. Now Esau does the same thing, but he does it in a cunning manner, okay? All through deception and lies, all right? Okay, that's how he's trying to start his new world order. Through a process of gradualism, he's getting the masses of the people to accept the new world order, all right? Okay, so he's a cunning hunter at the end of the day, and it says a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Yeah, Jacob was a righteous man, okay? And he just likes to chill. He's all about being at peace, man. All right. It says, and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Yeah, so the spirit had it wherein Rebekah's love for Jacob was going to be used eventually to have Jacob supplant his brother Esau for the birthright. Okay, and eventually get the blessing from Isaac. All right. It reads on to say, and Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. All right, there from that red pottage. Okay, because it all goes back to red. Everything is symbolic. It's an omen. Okay. Which omen means name, sign, and everything is spiritual at the end of the day. All right, there's a reason why Esau he ate that red pottage, that raw meat that wasn't fully cooked. All right, okay, and even unto this day, so-called white man loves to eat rare cooked meat. All right, they have steak tartare. When they fry a burger, they like their meat. Most Edomites will tell you that they like their burgers medium rare. Okay, they like their steaks medium rare. All right, okay, they don't like their food to be cooked, their meats to be cooked thoroughly through. All right, or well done. Okay, so these are the signs, man. These are the signs that show you who's who according to the Bible. And through the spirit, we found out that the so-called white man comes from Esau, all right, whose name was called Edom, as it tells you in Genesis 25th chapter in the 30th verse. All right, so I'm going to read it again. It says, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage. Because remember, he came from the field and he was faint, okay, to the point where he thought he was about to die, okay. And Esau he lacked faith. All right? He lacked faith. That's why he said, I don't care if it's not done. Give me the food now. He wanted it. He said, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And the word Edom means red. Adawam in the Hebrew. All right? In the Lashawan Kodash. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Yeah, Jacob saw an opportunity. He said, sell me this day thy birthright. Okay, because it was customary that the firstborn son receives the birthright from the father. All right, that was customary, that was traditional, and that's righteous. That's in our laws. All right, but Jacob seen opportunity. He said, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright, which this was all set up in the spirit anyway, because what? Yahweh the Heavenly Father chose Jacob. Okay, so before you slander Jacob like them so-called Jews do, they claim to be the Jews, but yet they slander Jacob. Say he stole the birthright. He stole the birthright from Esau. Okay, but wait a minute. If you're a Jew and you descended from Jacob, why would you care that Jacob so-called stole his brother's birthright? All right, these are things that our people are not familiar with the scriptures. Okay, you're not familiar with the scriptures, and that's why our people are destroyed, man. All right, so I'm gonna read on. It says, And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? Okay, and it showed this. This is another thing that showed you that the so-called Jew knows that he's really an Edomite. Because why would you have sympathy for Esau? He gave up his birthright. He said, "What the hell does this birthright have? How can it profit me?" The birthright represents the kingdom of heaven, man, eternal rulership and righteousness. Okay, at one with the heavenly Father, being at one with the Most High. All right. Esau said, what can this birthright profit me? So he denied his birthright. Jacob didn't steal his birthright. Jacob did see opportunity. But at the end of the day, Esau has to, the customer has to be the one to buy. Okay? A businessman is going to try to sell you something. You don't have to buy it. All right? Businessmen see opportunity and they'll try to sell you something. But it's up to the customer to make the decision whether he wants to buy it or not. And Esau chose to buy it. He chose to buy some uncooked meat, pottage stew with lentils for his birthright. Okay? So Jacob didn't steal his birthright. Esau didn't have any integrity at the end of the day. It reads on to say, and Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. See, he sold his birthright unto Jacob. All right. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So the so-called white man, you despised your birthright. All right. Okay. So when it came time for the blessing, Isaac ended up blessing Jacob, which remember was the second born son out of the twins. Okay? Genesis chapter 27 verse 30. And it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce going out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may be blessed, that thy soul may bless me. Okay? See, Jacob under the tutelage of his mother, under the tutelage of his mother Rebecca, supplanted Isaac and brought Isaac some meat, some venison, and gave it to Isaac, in which Isaac thought that was Esau who was giving him the food, because Isaac was always up in age and his eyes were dim. Okay, and this is when you read up a little bit in Genesis 27 chapter. It's a whole story, a whole breakdown to this, man. Okay, all right. So Jacob disguised himself as his brother Esau and gave his father Isaac some venison that his mother Rebecca cooked, so he can receive the blessing. So he could receive the blessing that was initially supposed to go to Esau. And that's why Esau came in from the field from hunting and hooked up the meal for his father to give Isaac his venison. All right, was shocked to his surprise that Isaac already gave the blessing away. He gave it to Jacob, thinking that Jacob was Esau. Okay, so I'm gonna read verse 32. It says, and Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that has taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. All right, yeah, because his son Jacob supplanted him for the blessing, for the birthright. Okay, which the blessing was initially supposed to go to Esau. It reads on to say, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and has taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. All right. So the word, like I said, the word Jacob means supplanter. It says, he took away my birthright, and behold, now he has taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. See, this is the blessing. This is the kingdom of heaven. You know, to have dominance over the other nations. All right. It says, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Now you crying for the birthright. Okay? When you came from the field and you was hunting and you was feeling faint. Oh, all right? You despised your birthright. You Edomites. Esau, the father of you Edomites. Okay? So now he's crying for his birthright. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. So yeah, Isaac did give him a blessing, all right? But it wasn't that eternal blessing, man. It wasn't that promise that initially came from Abraham, that Abraham bestowed upon Isaac, and Isaac bestowed on what was supposed to be his firstborn son, but it wound up going to his secondborn son, Jacob, all right, which is the kingdom of heaven, all right? But nonetheless, Isaac did bless his brother Esau, but the blessing that Esau has doesn't compare to the blessing that we're going to have as a nation of people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians who make up the 12 sons of Jacob, all right? So, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. And the so-called white man he's dwelling in the fatness of the earth. Everywhere this devil goes, he's living good. All right? All over the world. No matter what country he goes to. All right? He's staying in 5-star hotels, on vacation resorts and such. You know? He's living a good life. All right? Even through this the gentrification of Jake neighborhoods, the so-called white man is not living next door to Jake in the projects, but he's living in these newly sprung up condos while Jake still suffers in these broken down tenements. Okay, I bear witness to it. You brothers bear witness to it, man. All right. So Esau he's dwelling in the fatness of the earth. It says, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live. Yeah, how did Esau obtain that? Through the sword. All right, the modern day sword is the gun. Okay, that's the modern day sword. The gun, military artillery as far as things that are explosive, man. Okay, mass destruction. All right, it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. That's right, because at one time we did have these devils in captivity. When you read the history, man, when King David took over the nations, all right, we had Esau under us, second-class citizens. Okay, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 1. It says, truly the Most High is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Okay, because Esau is also known as the wicked according to the Bible. All right, when you read the book of Malachi, the first chapter, it goes into that. Okay, it says, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. Right? Yeah, the so-called white man, he's living a blessed life. All right? They don't suffer death on a scale as you Israelites, you sons of Jacob. All right? It says, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Okay, yeah, everywhere this devil goes, he leaves a trail of a trail of violence behind him, a trail of death. Okay, plagues, pestilences, taking over people's lands by way of killing them, gunning them down. All right. Okay. It says their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They live in fat. They have more than the heart can actually wish. Okay. All right. And you see these international bankers, these so-called Jews, they living good, man. All right. Okay. So, that's it, man. It proves that you so-called white people are the wicked. You are the sons of Esau. You are of the nation of Edom. Okay? All right? So I tried to keep this as brief as I possibly could. I think I'm going to end it on that note. Say shalom, wa barakum to you brothers out there. Lord willing, I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.